Attorney Nicholas Kaufman, welcome back to The Hague. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Beautiful weather as well.
Attorney, tomorrow is a really significant day for Filipino people following the case of the former president. Do you have lingering thoughts or opinion about the reading of the judgment of the Appeals Chamber?
Well, I really have ceased to predict things at this court. As you know, the court's in existential crisis at the moment due to the threat of institutional sanctions from the US government. Also, it has a chief prosecutor who is alleged to have committed sexual misconduct. He's fighting his way back to the court. Half of his own office don't even want him back at the court. This is a court which needs something to survive. And unfortunately, the only case before the court at the moment is the case of the former president, Mr. Duterte. So, yes, I believe the law is firmly on our side. In fact, you shouldn't forget that one of the judges who found in favor of the jurisdictional arguments that we presented is still in the appeals chamber. That's the Georgian judge, Judge Lord Kipanidze. The other judge who found in favor of the jurisdictional arguments presented by the defense is no longer with the court. That's the French judge, Marc Perrin de Brichambault. Let us hope that the judge who found in favor of the arguments back in 2023 remains constant, and that he manages to persuade two more of his colleagues at least to join him. Now, let us not forget also that back in 2023, the government of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., represented at the time by Menado Guevara, the Solicitor General, actually argued that the court totally lacks jurisdiction over the Philippines. So what changed? You may ask yourself. Well, politics, isn't it, really, at the end of the day?
Attorney Nick, what does it mean for the decision to be in favor of the defense tomorrow?
Well, if the appeals chamber decides in favor of defense tomorrow, that's the end of it. It's the end of the case against the former president. It's also the end of the Philippines investigation. So you can understand the stakes here. It really is all or nothing.
And should the decision be otherwise, are there any remedy that the defense sought to
Well, we've
explore?
reached the end of the road, unfortunately, with respect to jurisdiction if the decision goes against us tomorrow. However, there is the confirmation decision, and that has to be delivered by the 28th of this month.
Okay.
If the confirmation decision goes against the defense, then we're in for a trial. And that trial will probably start maybe at the beginning of 2027.
So, Attorney, if the appeals chamber decides against the defense, it will be the end of the jurisdictional issue.
Correct.
And then we will just focus on the confirmation of charges.
Then it will be the confirmation of charges decision. And thereafter, if the confirmation of charges decision goes against the defense, trial. Obviously, in the context of the confirmation of charges decision, the judges of the pre-trial chamber can decide a number of things. They can decide exactly the shape of the case which will be tried in 2027. So let us wait and see what happens.
If the charges are going to be confirmed, Attorney, how long, in terms of years, are we looking at for a trial?
Unfortunately, cases at the ICC move at a glacial pace. And we're looking at a few years, yes, unfortunately. That's one of the major criticisms of this court, that the cases take so long. And a huge amount of deference is given to the prosecution, allowing them to bring witnesses, the time it takes to bring witnesses. Sometimes also, please bear in mind that we've got an elderly suspect here. The former president is 81. And he's been given a certain amount of dispensation regarding appearance, days of hearings. It might be the case that we don't have continual sittings. There might be something like maybe 3 or 4 sittings or less a week, once every 2 weeks maybe. It's not clear how a trial will pan out at the present moment in time.
Attorney Nick, just to push to that particular situation, should the appeals chamber decide in favor of the defense, are there going to be consequences that the court will address with respect to the former president being detained for more than a year?
Well, obviously, if the case goes in our favor, the appeals judgment tomorrow is in our favor, then the former president should be released immediately, maybe on the same day, maybe the following day. That's all I can say on the matter.
Okay. Attorney, just to conclude this interview, I would like to ask what do you have to say to the Filipinos who, up until now, more than 1 year already, still strong and unwavering in the support to the former president and the Duterte family in general?
Well, I saw the celebrations which took place on his birthday, his 81st birthday. I saw the flower displays. I can only say such a big thank you. It was wonderful. You showed your love, and I would ask you to keep on showing your love. And to a certain extent, Alvin, it's due to you as well, and your publicity, for getting that message out there. Very important. Well done.
It's my honor, Attorney. On behalf of the Filipino community all over the world, good luck for tomorrow. We are praying for the former president and to his defense team.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mabuhay ka, Attorney.